Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I've not seen you guys in a while. I uploaded a video last week, but that video was from like July, maybe August of 2025, and it is currently January of 2026, January 1st to be specific. But yes, I was gonna say I haven't filmed in a while, but I have. I just scrapped all the videos because, also, if you don't want to hear me yap about my life, like, just go to this timestamp where the video actually starts. But yes, when summer ended, I went back to college. I was doing fine at first, and then I don't know what hit. It was like I was gonna say quarter life crisis, but I'm 20, so I don't even know. Maybe that's a quarter of my life. Who knows how long my life will be? But I just was not doing well, and I was just sat and thought about like what I wanted to do with my life, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is not my path. So I ended up transferring out of that university, and I'm gonna do something different now. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes, honestly. But yes, so the past few months, I'd say about 5 or 6 months, were kind of rough for moi. Even like my beginning of winter was kind of like a little questionable. I did have like fun moments in between, but still, mental health was like down in the dumps. I don't know. I'm also wearing my Epic sweatshirt, which I got about a year ago. It has like all the albums on the sleeves: Thunder, Wisdom, Vengeance, Ithaca. And here are like the first 5 ones. Like Troy. I'm forgetting the names now, but I've been such an Epic fan for the past 2 years. Like, actually love that I love that musical so much. Also, look at my nails. I did them myself. I want to make a video showing you guys like how I do them next time I do them. I did these about like a week ago. So that'll won't be for another few weeks, but expect that if you're interested. It'll be coming soon. But yes, I feel like this past year I have gotten into more of a healthy mindset. Regardless of my mental health, I feel like it's always gonna be there. Like, my struggles with it are always gonna be present. It's just a matter of how I really manage and like how I go about everything else in my life that I can control. Which brings me to today's video, which is habits I am implementing on 2026 to make my life a little better and a little easier. A lot of these are new. We're only 3 weeks into 2026, so obviously they are new, but some of these I started doing just as recently as like a few days ago. So we'll see how those go and if we actually go through with them. My problem with New Year's resolutions, for the most part, is that a lot of people just put a lot of pressure on themselves and set really unrealistic goals for themselves and don't really end up like completing them, which is fine. Like, you don't have to. I feel like the purpose of a goal, some goals are meant to be completed, but a lot of them, like resolutions and stuff, are kind of just to help you push yourself to the best you can be in that regard. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people really beat themselves up when they don't complete whatever goal they had in mind, but as long as you're trying and trying to like do better for yourself in whatever aspect that may be, I think you should be proud. But anyways, here's my list of I guess goals and habits that I want to really do. You know what I mean? I feel like I spent a lot of last year just hating my life. I don't know, and that sounds like a little sad, but I hated everything. I hated the world. I wasn't really content with like my personal life or with myself. I knew there was things. Sorry if you hear the birds. It's like 2 p.m. while I'm filming this, but yes, I wasn't very content with a lot of the things and aspects of my life, so I wanted to change them up. Also, I was watching my favorite show, BoJack Horseman, which I don't know if you can see from here. Wait, I have to lift the camera up. That is BoJack. I love that show so much. I was gonna say I love him. I don't really love him. I've seen the show like 6 times already. Like, me and that man have a very complicated relationship, but I adore that show so much. And I wanted to include a quote that I heard while I was eating lunch earlier, because I was watching it while eating lunch, okay, and it was like in the break of me making the outline for this video, and I was like, I need to include that in my video. And it's a quote where BoJack says, "I wasted so many years being miserable because I assumed that was the only way to be. I don't want to do that anymore." I heard that and I was like, yes, for once in my life I actually relate to that. I want to do better for myself because I realized that you can choose to be happier. I don't know if that makes any sense. Obviously, that is not like a full reality for a lot of people, myself included. Like, I do tend to struggle with mental health from time to time, but I am choosing to just control the aspects of my life that I can. I feel like my mental health is something that a lot of times is out of my control. It just happens, and it's a matter of how I navigate through those times and like doing what I can to just prevail. So honestly, let's get into the video now that I've yapped for like actually 7 minutes. Number 1, I wanted to talk about sleeping habits. I kind of divided these into little sections, and each section has like specific things I want to do relating to that. But for my sleeping habits, I want to wake up earlier and go to sleep earlier. So since I currently am like in an in-between period with school, I'm basically like taking a break and I'm unemployed. I'm trying to make this my job, so if you want to help out, please. But since I'm technically unemployed, I don't really have a set schedule. I don't really have a reason to wake up early. So for a lot of like my winter break and the beginning of this year, like the first week, I was going to bed at 4 in the morning every day and waking up at 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon, which was terrible. As much as I liked to stay up late just doing whatever and sleeping, when I woke up, I felt like I wasted my whole entire day, which was not a nice feeling. So I was like, I need to get my shit together and start waking up early. So I decided I wanted to wake up around 8 or 9 a.m. I try to wake up at 8 every morning. Sometimes I let myself sleep in a little bit more. But I've been doing that for the past 2 weeks, every weekday. On weekends, depends on my mood, depends if I was like doing something the previous night or whatever. But I have been waking up at 8 almost every day for 2 weeks, and I'm loving it. And tied to that, I've been going to bed latest at midnight, so I can get like 8 hours. But some days I just wake up really tired and I push through, and then by like 10:30, 11, I'm like exhausted and I go to sleep. So that is one that I hopefully will keep doing for the rest of the year. Again, I'll be very like forgiving with myself if it doesn't happen, but I will continue to try and make it a habit. I feel like that one's a pretty normal one. I feel like a lot of people might say, girl, 8 in the morning is not early. It is for me, okay? It is for me. And I'm getting better. So don't kick me when I'm down. Number 2 is phone usage. There are 3 things specifically under this category that I want to make a habit of and normalize in my life. Number 1 is no screen time at least 30 minutes before bed. I am quite literally addicted to my phone, okay? I'm currently filming on my phone because I don't have the money to buy a fancy camera. Honestly, you know what I need to save up for though? I want a mic. I want a mic so bad. I just want to sit here and talk to you guys on a mic. But yeah, I'm addicted to my phone, and I've noticed that a lot of the times that I stay up until 2, 3, 4 in the morning, it's because I am on my phone, because I'm either doom scrolling. I don't even know what else I've been doing, because I feel like when I was younger, I used to stay up late so I could like binge watch shows that I didn't have the time to do during the day, or like, I don't know, just something with a purpose. Whereas lately, the reason I've been staying up late is just to watch TikTok, which is so, I just don't want to keep rotting my brain that way. And recently I've been replacing it with reading. I feel like you can do that with anything, like a little craft that you want to get done. If you like knitting or crocheting, or if you like making little friendship bracelets, or literally whatever. If you like to journal, I feel like that's a good, like, I guess more productive things you can do before bed that are not being on your phone, because I feel like it helps you relax more. Like, our phones are so bad for our brains, so I just don't want to be like on it before I go to bed. Me personally, I love to read. I've been getting back into it this year, because last year, again, it was rough, and I'll be getting into that reading thing later. But I've been reading a lot more this year, and I've noticed that I love to read before bed. Some people like get really tired at the end of the day and they can't really focus on a book before bed, but that is my peak reading time. Okay, like, so yeah, I've been replacing phone time with reading for at least 30 minutes, sometimes like an hour. And when I get tired, or when I finish a chapter and want to call it a night, I'll just put the book down, turn my lights off, and I'll go to bed. Like, number 2 for phone usage, I'm sorry if the camera angle is a little bit different, I had to move it, but number 2 for phone usage is similar to the previous one, and it is no phone an hour after I wake up. That one has been kind of hard, because I feel like for as long as I can remember, the first thing I did in the morning was grab my phone and go through it, see like if I got any messages, any emails, anything, and then it would just end up me going to social media and scrolling on there, and before I knew it, I've spent an hour in bed just looking at my phone. Obviously, if I had like nothing else to do that day, but yeah, it was just bad. And I feel like, I don't know, I just want to give myself an hour of just peace of mind. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll still watch shows in the morning, okay? That is part of my little morning routine. I love just making myself food and sitting down and watching an episode of BoJack in the morning. Sue me, okay? But I feel like not going on my phone has actually been so much better, and I find that when I do that, I tend to reach for my phone less throughout the day. So yeah, I feel like that's a habit that's definitely worth trying to keep up this year, because I just want to get my screen time down in general. So that's been helping a lot. And number 3 for phone usage is just less TikTok, or just doom scrolling, like Instagram reels, YouTube reels. I don't really watch those, but I feel like if I limit myself too much on TikTok, I'll end up there, you know what I mean? But I just don't want to, the fact that you can just sit and just scroll on hours looking at a tiny screen. I could do that for hours. I put a 2-hour limit on TikTok, which I feel like for a lot of people is a lot. Like 2 hours of your day, that's a lot. But even then, I would click ignore limit for the rest of the day often when I had that thing, and I still do. I try to be more mindful of it now if I do reach the 2-hour mark, and I just try not to use TikTok as like a crutch for when I'm bored or in between doing things. Like, I don't know. I wish I could completely cut it off at one point, but I do try to use it to promote my little lovely YouTube videos. And if you find this first, here's my TikTok. Go follow it. I don't post like religiously on there. I used to at certain points. If you scroll back enough, girl, you will find some things that are definitely cringeworthy. Because my TikTok started as like an anime fan account, and then transitioned to like K-pop, and then now it's kind of like drag stuff sometimes when I decide to post. But honestly, it's just whatever I'm interested in is going on there. But I haven't really posted anything lately. I might just go follow me. So section number 3 of habits is just my health. I feel like a lot of other people, I want to do better when it comes to taking care of myself physically. I feel like emotionally I've always been pretty good at that, at like just making sure that I feel my emotions and that I take care of my mental health. If I'm doing something that's bad for me mentally, I'll like take note of it or find things that help my mental health whenever I am feeling bad. I've always been pretty good at that. But my physical health, on the other hand, girl, I'm deteriorating from the inside out, I'm pretty sure. And I'm only 20. So I want to really make a habit of not only doing stuff to better my health, but just be conscious of it in the first place. Because I feel like I grew up around people who weren't all that conscious about their physical health. So I wasn't conscious of my physical health and how things could make it better or worse. I was just living and doing whatever I wanted. And then I was like, girl, that's probably not the best for me. Like right now, it probably doesn't cause much harm, but in 20 more years, I'll be seeing the effects of that. And I really don't want it to be a negative thing that impacts my life drastically. So I'm gonna try to take care of that now. And 2 things that I'm doing, again, I don't want to push myself. I don't want to make it unrealistic for me because then I'm just going to have a breakdown. So 2 things that I am choosing to kind of, I guess, prioritize when it comes to my health this year are, number 1, try to be active for at least a few minutes every day. And by a few, I mean 10 minimum. I've been doing like 30-minute Pilates workouts in the morning, which like, they're kicking my ass, girl. Like the beginner workouts where it's just like me moving my arms and legs, like I am shaking by the end of them. I'm laughing and my stomach and abdomen hurt because I'm a little sore. But I feel like we all gotta start somewhere. There's one scene in BoJack Horseman, and I keep quoting that show, but it's taught me so much. But there's this one scene where BoJack is like running. He wants to like run every day, and he's just tired because there's this hill that goes, like he lives on a hill, and he's like going up the hill next to his house running, and one day he's just like tired, and another character, truly I could not name the character, I don't think they have a name, it's just like a random character who also runs, comes up to BoJack and says like, it's hard but it gets easier, you just gotta do it every day. I definitely did not say that in the proper like order, but something along those lines, that habits only become easier when you do them every day. Like it gets easier, the hard part is doing it every day, which I feel like that's me with my little Pilates workouts. I also don't want to do like a Pilates workout every day, even if it is just 30 minutes, which is nothing. I don't want to do that every day. I'll probably do it every like weekday or most weekdays if I can. And the days I don't, I really just want to go outside. I want to walk. I can thankfully walk in my neighborhood without feeling unsafe or anything. So I just like to go out and walk for 30-40 minutes. And it helps me clear my head so much. And it also just is good to move your body. You know what I mean? I feel like I live a sedentary life. Just between when I go to school, I'm always like sitting down studying. When I do YouTube, I'm like sitting down writing my little outlines and stuff, and then I sit down and film the YouTube video. Like I don't really have much an active lifestyle, so I want to implement a little more movement, even if it is just tiniest bit of it. Number 2 for my physical health habits, I'm not gonna go too much into this one, but I want to stop so much. I feel like I am a enjoyer, and for the past year, again, I had a rough year. I would use that as a crutch whenever I wanted to not think about my feelings or not really feel my feelings or distract myself from my feelings, or whenever I was bored. It came to the point where whenever I was bored, I would just, and that is not very healthy. I mean, if you do that, that is your own path, that is your business. I'm not here to sit down and tell you not to do that. You do whatever you want. But for me, I just noticed that it was not about wanting to be, because I enjoy it, because I do enjoy it. but I was using it as a distraction, which is not very good. So I just want to do that less, which I've been successful as of this month. As of January of 2026, I've been successful. Not to say that I haven't, but it's gone down way less. And I feel like if I keep this up, my intake will be down by, like, not even kidding, 80%, which I feel like is a lot. But yes, moving on to the fourth category, which I feel like this one is just like one thing when it comes to this that I want to get better at, and it is reading and my reading habits. Again, I only have one on this category, which is just to read more. I feel like last year I was so distracted by so many things that I barely even read. I read a total of 2 books. 2. And according to like my Goodreads, I don't really use Goodreads anymore. I use Fable, but I transferred all my data from Goodreads to Fable. But I read about, I think, 16 books in 2024, which I do want to read more than that now. I feel like I'm capable of reading more than that, because like I felt like I didn't even read much in 2024, but 16 is definitely way more than 2. Last year I read Daisy Jones and the Six and Sunrise on the Reaping, like the Hunger Games book, and I liked both of them. They were fine, like they were okay reads. I liked Daisy Jones more, but yeah, I just didn't really read, and that was like in the first half of the year. Second half of the year, girl, I don't even know what happened. But yeah, I just want to read more this year. I am on my 3rd book of 2026. I was gonna say 2024. What year am I living in, actually? Some people like to put like a reading goal, like a number of books they want to read. I currently have 20 on my Fable, like 20 books I want to complete by the end of 2026. And honestly, I think I will surpass that if I keep up the pace I have right now. But I think my end goal, honestly, I don't really care about the number of books. I more care about just actively reading every day, which is maybe unrealistic. I'm not going to pressure myself to read every single day, but if I have the time, I will try to make space for it. Again, since I'm not using my phone before bed, I am just reading. I'm currently reading Somewhere Beyond the Sea, which is the sequel to The House in the Cerulean Sea. I'll be talking more in depth about those two, specifically this one, in my upcoming video, which will be either my January reads or my first quarter of the year reads, depending on how many books I actually end up reading in the next few months. But that'll be coming soon if you are interested in that. That being said, we've reached the end of the video. Remember to take care of yourself. I hope this video serves as a reminder of that, because again, most of these goals seem very, very small, but that's how it starts. If you truly want to make drastic changes in your life, you got to start out small. You got to start out realistic. You got to take it easy on yourself. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Have grace with yourself, because I feel like it's hard enough to live in the world we live in right now. And I really can't speak for other countries. I know things are rough everywhere, but specifically if you live in the US, I'm from Puerto Rico, so technically that makes me part of the US, unfortunately. That's my stance on that, if you were wondering. But if you live in the US, things are very, very shit right now under our current administration. Like, I do not condone any of the things that are going on right now. If you were wondering, I'm against a lot of things that this current administration is trying to push upon the people, because at the end of the day, what they're doing right now with ICE, it's a genocide. I don't care what people are saying. They are trying to eradicate a lot of like Latinos from the US, and not only that, I feel like they're just targeting anyone who's not white, period, which is such a shitty fucking thing to do. But anyways, I hope you found some solace in my videos, even if it's just a 20-minute distraction. I don't think this video would reach 20 minutes. Hopefully it does, because I like that to be like the average length of my videos. But comment down things that you might want to see in the future. I really am down to do anything, from like vlogs to tutorials to like cooking videos because I love to cook. 2, reading videos. I want to do more like film stuff. Not make it, but like talk about film stuff. But yes, if you're interested in BoJack Horseman, let me know because that's my favorite show ever. I will sit here and yap about it for like actually 3 hours. If you ever feel like you need someone to talk to, just know that I'm here. My comments are always open. I think YouTube doesn't have DMs anymore. I think that was once a thing, but I don't believe that they are anymore. But just comment down below if you want to talk. If you want to talk privately, let me know. I don't have any of my socials open. You could always DM me on TikTok. Here's my TikTok, because that's the most open social media I have apart from YouTube. But yes, you can count on me for literally anything. If you want to like yap about AA, if you want to talk about a certain situation that's going on in your life that feels heavy on your shoulders, you can do so. Literally anything. Trust, I don't have better things to do. But yes, I will see you guys on the next video. Remember to take care of yourself, and I love you so much.